Alright guys, here I am, Bad Boy Rogue. Got the Kawasaki, shouldn't matter your engines, but I am going to do the hydro change. It's oil. First, make sure you have your supplies. I bought Wix, the Hydro Wix filters, to replace the Bad Boy ones. And I am using AMSOIL. I guess you can just use any motor oil, it says, but I like AMSOIL products, so that's what I'm going to use. And so, first thing, I like to start off with the clean pan in case there's something unusual in there. You can always send a sample to them as long as your pan's clean. I also cleaned off the reservoirs. That way you don't get dirt, contaminants, and stuff down in there when you're changing it. And so, as per book, first thing you do, put your pan under the thing and remove the filter. So, it'd probably be easier to take the filter off from underneath, but as I'm trying to do a video, I'll try doing it from the top. I think I'll remove this cover. I can drain out a little easier. You definitely want to clean that a little better. So, got the filter loose. It's all clean. Got the top open so we can vent on out. I'm just letting her kind of drain. While we're doing that, they say it takes 2.5 quarts per side, so that'd be 5 quarts, but I bought 6 just in case. And that way next time I don't have to buy as much. I know some of you guys don't like to read instructions, as I am one of them. And I didn't ever see a video on it, so figured I'd do her. So, got the filter off. See, leaks on the hose is pretty good. So I figured I'm going to try on the second side. I just put one of my hand wipe rags over the hoses, see if it'll keep them clean. Won't matter, I'll have to wipe them off anyway probably, but might save you a step, especially if you had some better towels or something. So prepping my Wix filter, I always put a little oil around the seal so it goes on, helps it seal better. Always remember, when you're putting a filter on, it should spin all the way up on by hand. If it doesn't go on, something's wrong. You got it cross-threaded, something. But if you're doing it by hand, most likely you will not mess up the threads. So don't ever wrench them on. And I always hand tighten mine, or just give her a, once it hits bottom, which it just did, I'll give her about a third a turn, but I hadn't seen what the book said. Alright, so this is my first hydro. Checking the oil. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is a little metal shavings, which that's what the filter's for. I dumped out the filter. There's a little discoloration, which is probably an additive they put in to begin with, but like the filter did its job. That's why you do this first change. So I'm going to drain this pan, clean it out, and we'll check the next side. So I have funnels, but for guys that don't, simple water bottle. Actually fits there. A little different threads, but it'll thread on to where it's tight. That way you ain't got to try to hit that little hole if you don't have a water good funnel. So just a little extra tip there. So drain inside tube. So far all the oil looked good. Alright guys, so got the second side on tighten. Oil looked good. Product, I don't know if you guys ever seen them or heard of them. They're like pre-moistened towels, and these things work great. There's a lot of different brands. I think I got these at Walmart just because they had them. So they are nice for cleaning up stuff. So now I'm going to put some fluid in her. Alright, we'll probably start off with a couple quarts. It says it takes 2.5. And I am watching the tube on the left. And I like to go slow, especially working with hydraulics. Get the little bubbles in there as possible. I like to stop. Let her drain a little. It's not going to pump real good until you fire it up, but I don't know. According to my tube, now I'm watching my tube. See right there. That's about where she was running before. So I'm going to stop there for a moment. And you can see I'm letting her drain down some. And I'm going to go ahead while I'm waiting. And I did this side same way. But there's these valves here. They say to loosen up a half. And right there, half to a whole turn. It's called your bypass valve. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm letting the fluid drain down some. So I am using a 16 millimeter. So 5/8 probably work as well. So it's about a quarter. Moves pretty quick. Here's a half. So that's probably about 3/4 of a turn. Do the same on this side. Alright, they want you to jack it up. Get the wheels off the ground. See how good my board is. It's probably not too good. I just put the board there so the metal don't scratch the paint. So even though my board did break, it's still up on the board. It's just a piece of cheap. But got the wheels off the ground. And so I'm letting her drain in a little more. I'm on my second quart on both sides. And she just went right above that tube. So it's at the very top. So I'm going to put the lids on. So I'll probably put quart and a half each side. But I'm gonna go ahead and start it. The bypass is open, but I am putting these lids back on because I'm sure it builds up a little pressure. As it's jacked up in the center of the back, I'm gonna step on the front to enter and exit my machine, just so it don't lean. I did that. It says do it 5 or 6 times. I did. And the fluid hasn't went down any. So I'm going to do it a couple more times just to make sure. Then I'm going to shut the valves and start running my tires. Alright, now I'm on here. Got the bypass valves closed. Check my fluids again. Like they're operating pretty smooth.